Rob brings a girl to our annual cottage weekend for the first time in 8 years, rounding out our group to an even 6. Initially, we are wary of including someone we didn't quite know, but it isn't too long before she wins us over with her friendly, laid-back personality. And, as a bonus, she's brought with her salted caramel cupcakes, an after-dinner treat that we devour as we sit around the campfire exchanging the scariest stories we'd ever heard. "You go first, new girl," we encourage. She shakes her head. "I'd actually like to go last, if you don't mind. I want to hear all your stories first." "Most of the tales are urban legends. Humans can lick too. Aren't you glad you didn't turn out the lights?" And the several versions of a young couple meeting an unfortunate fate while trapped in a car at the dead of night. Then it's her turn. "Honestly, stories with blood and gore don't scare me. They're so over the top, so implausible, that they're more ridiculous than they are frightening. What's scary to me are the mind fucks," she continues, tapping an index finger to her temple. "The unexpected, the unknown. Not ghosts, mind you, or chain-wielding maniacs, but ordinary people like you and I. For example, a stranger spends a weekend at the cottage with her boyfriend and his friends," she says as she holds up her uneaten cupcake, "and feeds them some homemade pastries." Life sucks and then you die. That's always been my motto. It cheers me up when I'm feeling down. I mean, life is shit for everyone, right? Puts everything in perspective. Keeps me from doing myself in. I've been told that my cynicism drives people away, but I couldn't care less. I know they suffer as much as I do, and I really hate being around people that are dishonest with themselves. Anyway, yeah, that's been my motto. I like saying it. People would tell me their problems, and I'd just try to cheer them up with, "Hey man, life sucks and then you die, so just try to make the most of it." But no one ever really saw it from my perspective. They thought I was being insensitive and telling them to harden the fuck up. Oh well, I mean, what are you gonna do? If they misunderstand me, that's their own problem. This is all irrelevant, however. The reason I'm talking about my motto is because I've just now learned that I was wrong. So completely wrong. It kind of sucks that it took getting hit by a car and smeared across the asphalt to learn the truth. Life sucks. And then you wait. And I've been waiting an awful long time. I didn't even fight the charges. I admitted to the murders and even made sure I committed them in a state with the death penalty in effect. Why run the risk of a painful death in prison when you can have the state put you down quick on their dime? I was guilty. I was sentenced to death, and I was happy. They took me into an execution chamber. I don't know if they still call it that, but I'd been thinking and hoping for a while then that would be my final sight. It was clean and sterile, white tile walls and floors to enhance that notion. As they strapped me into the slab, I looked at the window across from me and saw only myself, the doctor, and the executioner. One-way mirror, I guess. I was really hoping to see the families all together one more time since the trial, but I guess I could settle for them seeing me. Straps tightened and they stuck the needle in. They asked me if I had any last words. "It's been fun." I scanned across the window. "I'll see your kids soon." Canister 1 emptied its contents into my bloodstream. Supposed to be sodium thiopental to drop me unconscious. They must have messed up the dosage though, because I only got drowsy before the next injection. Pancurnium bromide. that was supposed to cause paralysis. Now that one they got right. I froze in place, taking in only the shallowest of breaths. Then was supposed to come the potassium chloride to stop the heart. But I don't know what they injected me with instead. A burning pain flooded through my body, from my arm to my heart to everywhere else in an instant. I felt fire behind my eyes and in my gut. I would have screamed in agony if not for the paralytic. A minute of this goes by that felt like 100. Then I heard my heart rate monitor flatline. I was legally dead, but it sure the hell didn't feel like it. They unstrapped me, threw me on a gurney, and rolled me to the morgue, burning from the inside out. There they slapped me carelessly on a slab and locked me in a refrigeration cell. Now, with my skin freezing and insides boiling, I'm wishing I fought for life imprisonment, or that one of the families had shot me dead in the courthouse. Please, God, please just let me take back what I've done, because I've been in here for weeks now, and I'm just praying they do an autopsy before I'm buried in this hell. They've done it again. Those damn kids have trampled my azaleas, just like they trampled my lavender yesterday and my peonies the day before that. I know how they got into my garden. The fence is high, but there's a notch on one of the panels that they use as a foothold. I've seen them from my kitchen, watched them as they swing their skinny legs over the top of the fence and drop down into the far corner, right behind my marigolds. They stomp their way through my flowers to their missing ball, destroying the delicate little things without a second thought. They even scuff up the sides of my shed as they scramble their way out again. I hate who they've made me become. Some crotchety old woman standing on this porch waving her cane. Hey kids, get off my lawn! The thing is, if they asked me, I would get their ball for them. I don't have a problem with them playing their games. Hell, when I was a kid, I went through more than my fair share of lost balls and frisbees, and even the odd bat or two. I know what it's like to be their age, and I know that they can't help it when they lose their ball. But I also know that trespassing is wrong. My garden is my space, my property, and they have no right to be there. If they would have just listened to me, this would not be an issue. But no. Every time they kick their ball a little too hard and it goes sailing over my fence. They're chasing straight after it before I can stop them. None of them pay me any attention when I tell them, no, goddammit, don't get into my garden. Since the kids wouldn't listen to me, I went to their mothers. I was calm, collected, explained that I didn't want the kids to go romping through my garden or my yard at any time they felt like it. I was reasonable, but every single mother told me the same thing. Boys will be boys. Well, if their parents aren't prepared to do anything about it, then I will. The next time one of those kids comes climbing over my fence, there will be something waiting for them. I set up the bear traps this morning. Its sharp steel jaws nestled right behind my marigolds. Those kids are going to be learning a lesson about respecting other people's property. I can hear them playing on the street outside now. From their shouts, it sounds like baseball. Good. Not too long to wait. I've had this weird twitch in my leg for weeks now. I researched it on the internet, said it was restless leg syndrome. Every single time I went to go to bed, my leg would kick as if begging me to get up and run around. It was like my leg had more energy than my mind. It's been annoying. So I started taking potassium pills and other kinds of vitamins to make it stop. Well, it's been a day since I started taking the vitamins and the restless legs stopped. Except now, I keep waking up with bruises all over my legs. I wake up with fresh cuts too. That isn't the weird part. I'm used to waking up with random bruises. I bruise easily. I could be sitting at my desk, get up, and somehow I bruised my arm by bumping into a chair. These bruises I wake up with now aren't like typical bruises where I slammed my legs against the wall in my sleep. I swear these bruises look like fingers and claws scraping down my calves. I'm starting to think that maybe there was a reason for my twitchy legs. I think, and this may sound insane, my body didn't want me to go to sleep because something is trying to take me. I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight. His daughter came home with a weird doll that day. She seemed pretty excited about it. He was happy that she was happy, but there was something about the doll. Whenever he saw the doll, whether it was lying in the living room or his daughter's room, it always looked as though it was staring at him. Its eyes were so real. He could not shake the feeling that they were following him. Those big, brown eyes. He found the doll lying on the table one day and found that its eyes were bloodshot. That could not have been possible. It was a doll. It's not alive. It's just a doll. That very moment, his daughter flounced in and grabbed the doll. "Look, Daddy," she said. "I drew on her eyes," and skipped away giggling. One day, the father heard loud thumping noises from his daughter's room. He ran to her room and found her playing with the doll, with a newly formed scratch on her cheek. He asked her how she got it. "Oh, it just happened while I was playing with Dolly." He left the room perturbed. He was frustrated because he had noticed how weird he felt when the doll was around. He had noticed how strangely attached the doll his daughter was, and how strange the doll's eyes were. What he did not notice, however, was a small, squeaky, broken voice whimpering the words, "Don't go, please." "Shh, little Dolly," said the little girl. "We don't want Daddy to ruin our play." If you liked this video, please take some time to click that subscribe button. Hit that bell as well so you can be notified of my Creepypasta uploads. Like, comment, and maybe share with your friends. And I'll be starting a new social media page on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. I will update you on that later on. Thank you for listening, and good night, my minions.